No, okay, then thank the speaker once again. Okay, the last speaker of this session is Chiang, who will give her time and will talk about AGN fraction, extinction-free SED fit based on the net fit.
Hello everyone, my name is Ying and I'm trained the first session if you remember. Yeah, and today I would like to talk about AGN fraction. So the reason why we're interested in AGN is that because it's related to cosmological history. So by AGN feedback, things like that. So that's why we are interested in the evolution of supermassive black hole. So that's why we are trying to find out AGN everywhere. But most surveys are severe biased towards obscure AGN, because you see the figure here. There's a lot of like if you look at this angle, then you can see like type 1 AGN. But if you look at this, it's blocked by a lot of things. So that's why we are trying to like find more ways to find out AGN in the universe. Yes, so why we're using mid-infrared is because if you want to get through those absorptions, then first there's basically 3 ways. So by radio, we know that only 10% of AGN are radio loud. Yeah, so that's not an option. So it can be also by hard X-ray. So yeah, but the problem is that it's difficult to get a time, and also it's very expensive to reach large sample size. Yeah, so that's why we use mid-infrared, because the Wong does emission non-existent, and it's usually it's nearly extinction-free, and also it's a very efficient way to select AGN, and I'll get back to that later. Yeah, so but to find out AGN, we have to separate star-forming galaxy from AGN because they are also bright in mid-infrared band. Yeah, so the way to separate them is to use the pH emission. So there have some emission lines peak at certain bands. Yeah, so if you observe those features, then you can like distinguish star-forming galaxies from AGN. And in the meantime, AGN used to have a power law spectrum. Yeah, so that's the way to separate them. Yeah, so now we have major mid-infrared observatories. We have Spitzers, which have these 5 filters here. Also have WISE, but you can know that there's a gap between 8 and 24, and here between 12 and 22. Yeah, so to select AGN by Spitzer and WISE, the simplest way is to use a color diagram. So if you have the empirical models for certain gas type AGN, elliptical, spiral, and irregular, then they basically, because they have like different features and spectrums, so they basically fall in different parts in color diagram. So you can just plot a color diagram and you can easily find AGN. So it's a very efficient way. Yeah, so but I mentioned that there's a gap between Spitzer and WISE, so that's why our coverage is so good. Yeah, so because we have 9 continuous filters, which can like cover those missing bands. This is important because the pH emissions, those wavelengths can be lie in that gaps at certain for some galaxy at certain redshifts. Yeah, so that's why it's important to have a continuous coverage here. Yeah, and all the conference is about is the NEP survey. So from this morning, so I'm very sure that everybody is very familiar with this survey. Yeah, so basically in the catalog we have 5 bands Spitzer, 4 bands for WISE, and 9 bands for Curry. So it's a very complete mid-infrared coverage. And we detected more than like 100,000 infrared stars. Yeah, but previously we only have very limited area in the center. We have optical coverage. So yes, it changed a lot when we have the Subaru HSC data, which increase the catalog to about 90,000 sources. So we can measure photo Z from optical data. So in talk this morning by Nagisa-san, she already talked about that. Yes. Also, if we have like that large number of sources, then we suffer less from cosmic variance. So that's important. Yes. So that's the redshift distribution by the sample. The stars has been excluded, and to separate the star from galaxy and AGN, because we have continuous band, so we can use a city-fitting way to separate those. So I use the Foucault, and these they have like 25 models in the template, at least here. Yeah, so it's a very widely used template for infrared, I guess, I think. Yeah, so also about 1 year ago, another master student here, he used the same method to do the same analysis to AMP deep survey. Yeah, and he found this turns to be a very good way to select AGN, because he can recover about 20% more AGN by other X-ray selective work. Yes. So that's in the following. I show a few slides of my result. So the AGN fraction I show here. First, I plotted to check if it has redshift dependence or luminosity dependence. So for redshift, I plot that I divide the sample into different luminosities, and you can see it's like, for example, this one is going up, this one is going down. So it doesn't seem that it has a strong dependence for redshift. Yeah, and next, and I do that. I plot it as a function of luminosity. And you can see that all the data here, they seem to agree very well here, and also reach a final fraction of about 60%, which is consistent with Goto-san's work in 2001. You can see here, it agrees quite well. So from that, we probably believe that it's more related to luminosity. And also, I think Nagisa-san's talk this morning, she also found the same thing. Yeah. So what does that mean? So one possibility is that if you consider the galaxy formation's history, so when merger happens, then it will trigger star formation. So and then dust will be heated by those emissions, and also it will, and it goes to the higher luminosity, and then in the later stage of the merger, then AGN start to dominate. Yeah. So if that's true, then we should see a decrease of star formation galaxy at high luminosity. So I checked that, and I found yes, we do have like decreasing trend at high luminosity, and I also plot it as a ratio. It's a ratio of star forming galaxy and AGN, and you can see that it's a sharp decrease at high luminosity. So, so the preliminary result shows that probably that scenario is correct. So the summary is I use that a very good way to select AGN, and it does show that the result seems to be like follow the theory of star formation galaxy, star formation history. Yeah, and this was has been submitted to PSJ. And if you have any comments, it's very welcome. And thank you very much. Okay,
Good timing. So questions.
When you are talking about AGN fraction,
yes.
what are the denominators for each of the figures? Basically, numerator is the number of AGNs recognized by the infrared CD, right? Numerator.
Yes.
And what's the denominator? The interpretation of these figures basically changes very much depending on what the denominator is.
You mean the
Denominator, so what's the sample selection criteria?
do you mean if I use a different templates then?
No, denominator.
Total number of galaxies.
Yeah, total number of galaxies, but what galaxies selected by what kind of criteria?
Infrared luminosity.
Yeah. So in this Polada template, you select elliptical, spiral. Also, I think these are some.
But
yes.
what are the total sample?
Everything.
Everything
Yes. Total.
in which selected in which band? Selected in which band? Infrared or apparent infrared or HSC? Which micron?
2 to 24 micron.
Right.
2 to 24 micron, and if it is detected in any of the band, it's included.
Is it? In my sample, it has been detected in 15 or 18.
15
Or 18.
or 18. So
in my work.
then I think it's a little bit confusing because in 15 or 18 it could be like say it's basically if there is an AGN, it's a AGN dominated regime. And if it's not an AGN, then it's a gap, but still there is some star formation dust component. And there is not much, or there's almost no old stellar population type galaxies. So, like if you select it in that way, then astrophysical interpretation becomes a little bit complicated.
Yeah, but I mean, for high look, so this is plotted as a function of infrared luminosity, and as long as its infrared luminosity is certain value, then the template might be different, but then it should be mostly detected in accurate mid-infrared band.
Yeah, right. If you want to just interpret it in astrophysical scenario, this basically selection should be taken into account.
Well, that's why we are plotting as a function of infrared luminosity, because its selection is infrared, so it makes sense to plot it as an infrared function of infrared luminosity.
That's fine. Just, if it's an infrared luminosity, for AGN, this infrared luminosity is AGN dominated, right?
Right.
And for non-AGN, then it's a kind of gap, but it's not AGN dominated. So, denominator have different components depending on which galaxy it is.
So just a caution is when she plotted the ratio, then other type of star-forming galaxies, AGN, then other types are excluded here. It's not total.
Yes, this is just the
So
ratio
here,
between
that's fine.
between star formation cap. Yeah, because this figure, this figure includes like all class galaxy. Yeah, so if we want to check if really the number of star-forming galaxies is decreasing.
Okay, other questions?
Just to be sure, the AGN fraction, what you call the AGN fraction is the number of objects where the AGN template is preferred, whatever the amount of luminosity coming from the AGN. Okay, so if you try to integrate this in terms of star emission rate densities, it's not something you will use, because you don't know how much of the luminosity is coming from the AGN, how much is from the star emission, right? Okay.
Yes. So next we need Sigal to do that.
Yeah, Sigal, whatever. Yeah, we need to be good with the idea. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So one last defined question.
Have you considered to try to decompose the infrared luminosity and to see whether which one depends more, the dependence?
You mean decompose into
Decompose
AGN
and
and
stuff
star
on
yeah.
galaxy part.
I think Dennis is going to run the code.
It will be interesting.
By tomorrow.
Yeah, don't worry about
Thank you.
Otherwise I get simulations.
Okay.